of the revenue that you make, right? And much like in a startup.
Yes, man, and let's get some of our old soldiers back out.
Musicians to be professional, they know how to talk.
To help them wake up happy. It's not about a rectangle at a price.
All right, y'all. We tuned in for another episode of Baked Out Radio Show. I'm your host, Andreas, and I have a special guest, all from across the water in England. We have Alison, who is a musical medicine woman, a renowned singer, writer, and speaker who loves teaching people about the magical and healing properties of their voice. She helps creatives and visionaries activate their voice so they can have confidence and take action to manifest their visions, create the world that they want to see, and have a lasting impact. Thank you, Alison. I know I'm just a little late out there for you, and I appreciate you, staying up for me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you. It's good to meet you.
So let's get started. I imagine, you might have a similar upbringing as far as you were really into music when you were younger, things of that nature, and wanted to pursue that. Like, when did you really pursue music and knew that you had a gift?
Well, actually, what happened was my mom used to say I was good, which was one thing, and she always wanted me to be a singer. But when I was younger, at one point I remember saying, I want to be a forensic scientist. And no, I don't want to be a singer. And then, yeah, I ended up, and I got involved in the nightclub scene when I was at university studying maths, or math, as you say it.
Yeah.
And then I dropped out of university because I was like, what am I doing? I'm a creative. And I decided to go and hitchhike and busk my way over to Ibiza, where I was very much involved in the nightclubs. So I decided to go busking. And all we did, my friend and I, we were singing a cappella. Without any instruments. We carried the guitar so we could make friends, but otherwise we were just singing in the street. And when I got to Barcelona, there was this street called La Ramblas, and it's like this really touristy street. There's a big we call it a pavement, and then on either side is the road, and then the buildings and the pavement, what you call the sidewalk, on the other side, on the side. So this pedestrian strip was where we were busking. So it was quite noisy, and my friend had a quiet voice, but she still had money left, and I had none. I had to sing.
Yeah.
And so I was singing without her because her voice was getting drowned out, and I got my first semicircle. So my first audience. It's very different to singing on a train or to people passing you in the street when they stop. And then you have to think, okay, in between each song, it's like, okay, what do I do now? Because I was only young, and it was a game, But through that experience, I realized I will never be hungry again. Literally, I can just go and walk out to any busy area, start singing. There will be money. Like in Barcelona, that time we got fed, we got a place to stay. Everything was just laid out for us. And so that's when I realized this is a good thing to do. I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I definitely get that. And the fact that, in that moment, it teaches you a lot. It teaches you, one, that you're having a gift that other people, because like you said, when people stop and they take time out of their day, that means that you have something that other people cannot, they cherish, but they can't, they can't duplicate that. So they take the time to enjoy it and pay homage to it and things of that nature. I see that, your singing evolves, teaching people about the magical and healing powers of their voice. So let's get into that. How do you get people to understand it? And then two, how do you monetize that?
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Excellent. Well, I'm a coach. So I monetize it by being a coach, by, charging monthly fees and doing it for a series of months, doing a journey with somebody to understand the magical healing powers of their voice. So the thing is, right, it all started for me when I wanted to teach people about it as a healing tool. So you can use it to as a massage tool, like sound healing, like crystal bowls and gongs and all of that stuff. Well, your voice is one that you're carrying around with you. So I learn about that from being in nightclubs and putting my back next to the pulsing bass of drum and bass clubs and noticing what was happening to the water in my body. And how it causes ripples in the water. And you can do that just using your voice and your mind to direct your sound, so it can give you pain relief and relax muscles and unlock. So originally it was that, and then I realized there was other stuff like the words, the power of the words that you use. The throat chakra is the chakra of manifestation, which is a really hot word I'm noticing at the moment. Everyone wants to manifest. Well, this is the chakra for doing it. So speaking, even in the spiritual texts, there's like in the beginning was the word. I was hanging out with some Sikhs this weekend, and the first word is one, ek, and the second word is ong, which is the universal sound, which and then ka is the returning back to the oneness. So using sound to return back to the oneness is in the first three words of the Sikh. In the beginning, the om is the first initial sound of the Bhagavad Gita, the Indian faiths, those ones. In the beginning was the word is Old Testament, which is Jewish and Muslim and Christian. I mean, it's there. The beginning of things is sound. And also in the practical sense, if you want to create anything, you need to tell somebody, whether it's a baby and you go, hey baby, let's get together, and or it's an invention or anything. So yeah, so there's that, the healing powers with the vibrations. Then I've discovered, pain relief, sound, like when you bang your finger and you go, ow, that's actually to help you. But so we talked about the words, we've talked about the healing vibrations, getting out your feelings. And that's really useful. And you'd be surprised how useful that is. And then what I've noticed when I work with my clients is that when they start to speak, and it's, some people who are artists understand the concept of channeling and all the esoteric. I like all the esoteric speakers that channel too, but it comes through you. Creativity can just come through you. And when you allow your voice, then it just comes through you. And so what happens is that I witness my clients' wisdom is just incredible. As soon as they give a voice permission, and there's some moving out of the way, the ego, the pain, or the criticism stories, but when they actually allow their voice to come through, they're so wise and creative and amazing. So it's just the best. It's the best work I've ever done. I've sung all over the world. I've been on the TV, but you know what? And my songs have changed people's lives. But being a coach and watching people activate their voice, it's the best thing ever.
So how long would it take someone to you get them to their potential, right? Because again, like you said, people have their doubts, the creators have their doubts, they have all the naysayers that are around them that don't understand their gift and understand how they can use your gift and, draw, currency to their gift. Does it take them, about a month or so to open up? Takes them a couple of months? How's that process?
Oh my gosh. I mean, everyone's so different. So some of my clients, when I ran a 6-month program, they only just started to emerge. This time of the year is like we just had this ceremony called Imbolc, which is like in the wheel of the year. It's halfway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. And it's like there are some seeds under the ground that have just cracked open, or some things that are still under the ground. So, some people in 6 months, they crack open their seeds. Other people are already transforming the power of their marketing, or putting, like some of my clients are putting meditations on and become officially becoming a meditation teacher because they're putting their meditations on apps, and some people are creating songs that other people are singing, and some people are just feeling. Yeah, so I'd say, and then there's my journey. I'm 51,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd say I've been working on freeing my true voice for, oh, I don't know how to quantize the beginning point, but even even in September, I went to California. I was singing
Uh-huh.
and speaking on a stage with women entrepreneurs, and
Mm-hmm.
I had this, and I came back. There was a few other things I was doing at the time as well on that trip, but I
Mm-hmm.
came back with a new me. I felt like I'd had um, a an opening. So
Mm-hmm.
although I've been a singer all my life, I've released so many records and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And singing gigs. I only just came back from California in October and was able to freestyle. By
Mm-hmm.
November, I was freestyling without shame. So this is my
Mm-hmm.
journey,
Mm-hmm.
singing all these years and doing
Yeah.
Free Your True Voice work all these years, and only now
Mm-hmm.
I can freestyle without shame.
That's what's up. But I like the fact that, we go through lives, we go through our life and we have all these different things that like open us up even more and give us these like epiphany moments. It's like, I get it because as a creative, like I create content and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I'm doing videos and things of that nature, and I'm introducing a character that I developed, and even in the scene or whatever I'm shooting skit, I'm freestyling the entire thing and being comfortable with it. Now, I'm not letting my guests know what I'm doing because I want their natural reaction to the situation. But people like, get this, they see it and they're enamored by it because they're like, how do you just think of that stuff? And like you said, when we speak these things and we open up our mind, we allow that creativity side to come in and it just pours out with like, it
Oh,
seems like
yes.
effortless.
Yes, it kind of I guess the thing is moving out of the way, moving your ego,
Mm-hmm.
moving all the blocks, the pain, the shame. That's the work, and that's the work I do with my clients and myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like moving it out of the way because, like you say, it's effortless, but the effort we actually are extending is the effort in shutting ourselves down.
Mm-hmm.
So the release can be so liberating and
Mm-hmm.
freeing and
Mm-hmm.
relaxing, but the effort, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's like really holding tight. Oh, so
Yeah.
tell me about your skits. I know we're here to talk about me, but come on.
I'm glad you asked. So, okay, so I here in the United States, I have this hemp-based company, right? So it's the cannabis, but it's not the THC side, it's the CBD side.
Yeah.
And I created products to help heal people's illnesses and, bring them relief and things of that nature. So when I started promoting it and running ads on Facebook and Instagram, they were like, hey, no, that's like weed or whatever. So we're going to shut that down if you keep doing that. So I had to think of some creative way that I can sell this product and get people to understand what I'm doing. So I created a character. And when I created the character, I blended a lot of other people's quote unquote character together to create this character. So his name is 31 Savage, and he's the seventh place frisbee champion. Yeah, there's no such thing as a
In the
seventh.
world.
Yeah, exactly. Seventh place frisbee champion anywhere. Um, so his thing is he loves being number seven. Seven is like the best. And one of his models is anyone could be number one, but it takes a real champion to be number seven.
Okay.
So he goes through and it's in comedic fashion where he's doing all these activities and failing at them because his thing is to become seven. So he went to a retail store. He couldn't really sell clothes to the customers, and he was telling them that they need to have a seventh place look. The owner gets mad and fires him or whatever. Goes to a doctor's office and mixes up different charts and stuff and saying that he's doing a seventh place service and he starts doing I expanded the character to where now he does like news reports where he'll be out in the field interviewing a business owner or someone who's doing something and then start randomly talks about himself, doesn't really talk about them a whole lot. And that's where the whole freestyling part comes in because the person that I'm interacting with, I'd show them other skits, but they have no idea what questions they're going to ask and stuff like that. So when I get into character mode, it just says whatever comes off the top of my head. And like 80 to 99% of the time, it's funny and people are enamored by it. And then, of course, it sells the business, but it does it in a way to where it's not really a commercial or anything like that. It's a skit that's promoting another business or
I get
another
it. I mean,
product. Mm-hmm.
it's so good. I mean, that's one of the things that is really exciting me about my clients this year. It's like
Mm-hmm.
what I've uncovered in my own free marketing by freeing my voice and moving the shame out of the way and allowing, I'm enjoying it. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I think, oh, I could do some marketing, it's
Mm-hmm.
so different to me like 10 years ago, where it's like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
God, do I have to promote it? And it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like that what you've just done there is like we can be creative, like
Mm-hmm.
we can use creativity to sell, and then we can
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy it, and we can inspire other people. We can
Exactly.
make them feel good things, inspire them. We can even use our marketing as legacy, like
Mm-hmm.
these days we give things for free, don't we? And we give away something for free to sell something, and
Mm-hmm.
yet we can give away such good stuff for free.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, like to give for my work, to give an inspirational message
Mm-hmm.
for nothing to
Mm-hmm.
somebody whose life can change from
Mm-hmm.
not spending 1 pence with me, is just really beautiful. So the marketing becomes your legacy, like
Mm-hmm.
your skits or your little skits. That's like a little series you have of
Yeah, it is.
it's
I
a
have a
legacy. If you die tomorrow,
yeah.
number 7 guy, frisbee champion
Yeah.
guy, he's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. It like just on YouTube alone, like 100 or something videos that's been shot within like about a year and a half span, something like that. Because I started back in I think December of 2022 or 21. It was one of them. So yeah, then I've done like even more stuff and I put the reels on my profile. And like I said, I'm always collaborating with new people. I just hit up some people today to see if they were interested in doing some stuff. So yeah, like you said, it becomes this whole legacy thing. And when you create stuff and people can see it, they can experience it, they can interact with it. Like you said, it changes them, it inspires them. I've inspired other people to go out there and pursue things because I'm doing like the whole podcasting and marketing. That's what I do full time now. And I've been loving it because I'm so creative and I can work with other creative individuals and we can collaborate on different things. Um, as far as your experiences, putting your gift out there, the masses, and like you said, going all over the world and selling records and stuff, what's been like, I guess one of the biggest milestones or accomplishments you've had?
Hmm. Um, Oh, it's so interesting. The big at the moment, all I can be in love with is the people that I've worked with.
Okay.
Last year, I worked with 13 private clients
Mm-hmm.
on 6-month programs, and that feels like the biggest milestone. I made a little, I've put a few testimonial videos together, and it's just the most beautiful thing. Changing
Mm-hmm.
lives firsthand and taught
Mm-hmm.
is the milestone. I have done some things, that have kudos
Mm-hmm.
in my singing career, but that to me is the biggest milestone. Is just what is, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
transforming lives, hands on, right
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
in my Zoom room or my studio. So yeah, I've been on telly, I've been in movies, I've sung in front of thousands of people, I've traveled the world, I've shared stages with some famous people.
Mm-hmm.
I've had, yeah, but like I say, it's not the biggest milestone for
Yeah.
me at the moment.
I love that you said that. Because now people get to realize it's not about the money, it's not about the accolades, it's about the why. And your why is transforming lives, inspiring people. So then you
It's the
wake up.
best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like is there a certain thing where like you go and you reach people and then they tell you, you know what I'm saying, they've been inspired and then do you go and set a new goal like see let's see if I can inspire 50 people this month or like, how do you keep growing that why and accomplishing?
Ah, good, good, good. Yeah. Well, this year my program is 9 months
Okay.
because I realized that the 6 months at the end, I call it crowning. My
Mm-hmm.
clients are crowning. Like if you've ever had babies, it's just when
Mm-hmm.
the baby starts to appear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I feel like the extra 3 months will mean that the baby's properly popped out. And so they towards the end of the program, everyone has something to show for what they've been creating with me.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes some of people create from the beginning, but some of right near the end, and
Mm-hmm.
the community grows. So I'm imagining like 9 months is just going to be the most beautiful, um, yeah, experience. Oh gosh, have I lost my train of thought? Um,
You're talking about the crowning and them, being able to, you get to see and them, they get to emerge and get to have this,
yeah.
beautiful experience.
But what were you asking? What was your question?
Well,
My
how
brain
you,
sometimes loses.
the original question was like, how do you like duplicate your why and like, the goals for your
Oh,
why? Because,
yes. Okay. All right. So, well, what's so lovely is doing this work is it's my duty to keep learning, to give more,
mm-hmm,
and I'm inspired to keep learning.
mm-hmm,
Um, and I give these online masterclasses or workshops.
mm-hmm,
And what's been really interesting is in my journey as a musician, the last things that I made for myself was an album called which is 4 M's,
okay,
mantras, meditations, and mindful moments. And that was like just before lockdown. I think I released it in 2020. And what's been really interesting when I was creating my last 3-day workshop, it's an online 1 hour per day workshop.
mm-hmm,
I had this aha that I could
mm-hmm,
create a tune and get my the participants to make some words up to go over the tune.
mm-hmm,
So like I write the chorus, I sing the chorus, and they make the verse.
mm-hmm,
And so I did that, and then it was a 3-day event. And the
mm-hmm,
first one was the song was like I can, and I was getting them to um speak to their oh, hang on a minute, let me yeah, they were gonna speak from the future of what they wanted to create and
oh, okay,
say, I can do this, whatever it is that they
mm-hmm,
wanted to create. And so and then the second one, and then I was so inspired doing it because suddenly making music is a whole nother thing for me. If I'm like making music with the purpose of marketing or with the purpose of supporting my clients, I'm suddenly
mm-hmm,
like all over it.
yeah,
I use GarageBand just to do
mm-hmm,
something quite quickly. And then I produced a second piece for day 3, which
mm-hmm,
was Together We Can, Together We Can, Together We Can. Um, and they could come up with a verse that was about
mm-hmm,
what's possible when we work together
mm-hmm,
and what they could say that could inspire the world, um, with this idea of what we
mm-hmm,
could do if we come together. And so now I'm like, oh my gosh, I could do a day workshop where I could get them all singing the backing vocals. And I just did a workshop this weekend for young people, 20 something year olds.
mm-hmm,
And I created a circle, and their one, I used the same music as the I Can song, but I didn't play
mm-hmm,
the I Can bit to them. And they had to say I talk about spells, like words are spells, and that's why
mm-hmm,
they call it spelling.
mm-hmm,
And so I was getting them to come up with good spells, like things you would say to the child
yeah,
that themselves as a child to encourage themselves, like,
mm-hmm,
you're enough and your ideas are great and just keep doing what you're doing, that kind of thing. And when you
mm-hmm,
speak it over music, it's
mm-hmm,
even you can speak it over music, but you can also sing it over music, right?
yeah,
And singing is way more powerful, or because it affects more areas of your brain, music, than
mm-hmm,
just talking. um, so yeah, so basically what I'm saying is it spirals. So now
mm-hmm,
I'm like, I have this new workshop to do in the presence of my clients or my future clients, or in workshops or on online. They're all funnels, really. They're ways
mm-hmm,
to showcase my work and build the connection with new audiences.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, that's really inspired me. And even just the other day, there was a woman I was speaking to, and she picked a card from me, like one of those, it wasn't tarot, but those kind of cards, like tarot, those kind of inspiration cards.
mm-hmm,
And there was a picture on it of a little girl hugging a crocodile. And
mm-hmm,
it was all about facing your shadow.
mm-hmm,
Um, and then when I was tuning into it, I made up a little mantra. I call them mantras, these little short songs that are
mm-hmm,
just 2 lines or 4 maximum with a bit
mm-hmm,
of music. So I made one up last night in bed to soothe the part of me that's scared, the
Mm-hmm.
monster in me that's like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I use music. So now I'm like, oh, I've got another idea. What can I say? What can what can I get people to sing to the
Mm-hmm.
parts of them that's scared, or to their shadow, or like
Mm-hmm.
it just keeps coming. Do you get
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. Do you feel you have enough time in today to execute all your creative ideas?
No. Do you?
No.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a year behind as far as
Oh my
all the
goodness.
stuff. I think I'm about a year and a half behind now, just in my brain, because I had
Oh my
stuff that I wanted
gosh.
to accomplish last year that I didn't really get to fully accomplish like I wanted to. So I went ahead and did that and knocked it off my list for this year, so I can
Yeah.
continue forward. But the creativity keeps pouring and it keeps
All
creating
right.
itself. That I don't feel like there's enough time in the day to do everything I wanted to creatively. Even if I had all the resources to do what I need to do, I think it would just make more.
I hear you. In fact, I was at my friend was giving a master class this evening, and she does voice work as well. And
Mm-hmm.
she was encouraging us to use kind words for each other. And one of the things, first of all, we had to look at all our limiting beliefs. And one of mine was, I'm not doing enough. I
Mm-hmm.
wish I could. I wish I could do everything
Mm-hmm.
everywhere all at once. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, and the soothing words that you are human,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
there's no way. But also, one of the things that I love about um, making money with my
Mm-hmm.
clients, bringing in clients to pay me well to do
Mm-hmm.
what I do,
Mm-hmm.
is that I can then pay some people to facilitate some of my creative ideas, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just having help facilitating that
Mm-hmm.
is needed. Like, so I guess the more money I'm making, the more I'm paying someone to help me get those creative ideas out.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
definitely.
similar for you?
Yeah, I'm in a rebuilding phase of my life now, so I'm going through that transition, but I see where it's going down the road where I'm going to have to put people in place to pay them so I can get all these creative ideas out because I don't think everybody has the same creative level. We all get different levels of creativity, and the ones where it just pours out of us, it seems like a bottomless well, sort of say, and we won't like dry up whatever because we'll always go through something to where it creates something. Like even with my content, I even have a creative idea just to promote my content using my content. So it's like a second
Yeah,
layer of I'm
I
a
get it. I get
yeah,
it.
I'm going like some of my things. I'm
I
gonna narrate some of my skits and stuff. Um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like, just more creative ways to just do things and repurpose it, like people say.
Yeah. Repurposing. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I've just started doing? Like even tonight while I was waiting for you, because I'd
Hmm.
normally be in bed now.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I just made a video and I made another video and I saved it in a place where I can then put them on the social media, like tap them into
Hmm.
social media. And that's another thing that I can do with my clients as well. Like some of my clients do that, in the one-on-one sessions with me, they
Hmm.
use the time to get their ideas out, because it's just nice to have someone there sometimes. It really
Hmm.
helps to have accountability or someone just there, like a body doubling or someone keeping you
Hmm.
company. So I do that. I have somebody like that who helps me. And
Yeah.
so I offer that to my clients so that they can use their 75-minute session creating content. So
Hmm.
then after they've had their session, they can tap it out or get someone else to put it out. But it's been created in that window of
Hmm.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely
Hmm.
love that. So do you do are you just in person or are you online as well, virtually with
Oh,
coaching
yeah,
clients and
both. Yeah,
okay.
both. Yeah, I've had clients in America and clients in the UK, but not nearby, as
Hmm.
well as sometimes people who come into my studio. So a mixture.
Okay. But do you enjoy one over the other as far as like in person over virtual or because I know virtual it's easier to get people from farther distances, but then it's virtual. Is the connection as far as the chemistry, is it really there as opposed to someone being in person?
Yeah, actually, no. I mean, the I think my toppest student was on Zoom, and
Mm.
the the two clients who've re-enrolled for this year's 9 months are
Mm-hmm.
both my Zoom clients.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something lovely about having people in the studio. Like I have this one guy who came and he wanted to sing. And it took him 6 months because he would just be judging himself all the time. His
Mm-hmm.
body was aching and this and
Mm-hmm.
that. And then fine, and when he heard himself, if he sang, he'd be so mean to himself, and he almost didn't want to listen back, or he didn't listen back eventually. It is, but the group helps encourage him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The last session, he said it was like going down the pub. I had him on in my studio, and we were singing to different karaoke's, and I put some reverb on the mic, and he just got lost in it and just had
Yeah.
really good fun. And so yeah, playing with like recording, I can still record the Zooms and bounce them back, but yeah, I like doing that. But yeah, as long as it's deep, I don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely get that. Well, I know it's been a few minutes, and so I'm gonna let you get to bed, get off the bed and things of that nature. But before you go, let people know how can they get in contact with you if they want to book some sessions, be coached and, be able to be creative and do things creatively.
Well, I have a website. It's a new one actually, but it's called freeyourtruevoice.com. And otherwise, if more interested in the music side of me, but also it doubles up because the old website is alisondavid.com. ALISONDAVID. And but if you wanted to be part of the Free Your True Voice community on Facebook, that's the group Free Your True Voice on Facebook, and there's a nice place where we can get involved in some conversations. If I do workshops, they're broadcast into there. And yeah, some of the family, the Free Your True Voice family, are posting things as well, because I really want us to be able to share in a safe space our ideas. So yeah, those three things really: the websites and the Free Your True Voice Facebook group. You can find me on the socials, Alison David Vocalist. So yeah.
All right, well, Allison, thank you for, staying up for me and being able to do this interview. Thank you for also creating a safe space for, creatives, because I don't think there's enough safe spaces for creatives out there. So you're really doing some
Thank
great
you.
work.
And can you tell the listeners who might come and listen to this, because I'm in it, how do they find you? The skits, that.
That's let's see here. That's 31 Savage. Let's see, it's under on YouTube, it's under Mac Hart Productions. And then I also posted skits on 31 Savage. He has a Instagram page. It's called Seventh Place Champion.
Seventh Place Champion. So 31 Savage is the company, is it?
31 Savage is the character's name.
Yeah, I love that you called it he. I do that with my own. When I record something and I'm listening back, that's she.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's like the her in there. I love that. He's
Oh,
got a new
yeah.
he's
So,
his own life.
extension of me, but he's his own thing or whatever, and he keeps getting poured into and stuff like that. So I'm just imagining where he'll be like, in 2025, 2026. It's definitely been a journey.
Oh, cool. That's so cool.
So thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Y'all out there, y'all make sure y'all support. Y'all can go to freeyourtruevoice.com or go to the Facebook group, or what is it? Allison, what'd you say it was? Allison Davids?
AlisonDavid.com. Yeah, DAVID.
.com. And then also the Facebook group is Free Your True Voice as well, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
All right, so y'all keep on supporting, and make sure y'all always keep supporting the Banked Out Radio Show across social media and bankedout.radioshow.com.